Hello there, welcome back to the Wrestling Corner where we talk about all things wrestling. Catchphrase. I'm going to finish this draft thing. Yes, I have access to Peacock again and I want to finish this. Get it done. So we're talking about the 2010 WWE Draft today, and I'm going to actually watch the 2011 one after I'm done with this. After I make supper, I guess. And I'll eat it with my supper. I'll watch it while I eat my supper, whatever. And I'm going to have that up for you tomorrow. I will have the new one, the 2011 one, up for you tomorrow when this is coming out. So, 2010 WWE Draft, or as I like to call it, the year Smackdown got screwed. Yeah, the night Smackdown got screwed. They got... Wow. Like, when the show starts and once the draft starts going, it looks like, oh, SmackDown is winning these matches. They're taking it. And then all of a sudden there's a battle royal and Raw gets 3 draft picks. And there's 3 big draft picks. And, you know, SmackDown gets some decent people, but it goes to show you what they thought Raw was and what they thought SmackDown was. What they wanted Raw to be, the top show, the A show, what they wanted to represent, and what they wanted SmackDown to be. They didn't care about SmackDown at this point. Yeah. And I actually remembered this night very, very well. Because I watched it live, baby, live on the USA Network when it aired in 2010. And I remember really getting frustrated because despite them saying it's a 3-hour Raw, it's the draft, we start out with the WWE Tag Team Championship match that's for nothing. Although the Hart Dynasty were already on SmackDown. And Miz was technically a part of Raw. So, it could have not... You could have said, not only is it for the tag titles, but for a draft pick. I mean, come on. It is 2 separate teams from 2 separate brands. And the catalyst for this was that at Extreme Rules the night before, that's another thing that is kind of frustrating, is that this is right after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So, and I think I said this in 2009 one, but I'll say it here too. This is when WWE became more focused on telling the stories throughout the night instead of focus on the draft. The draft seems very second, you know. Like, we have this match, and then afterwards, during this match, commentary keeps trying to remind us, oh yeah, it's the draft, it's the draft. There will be a draft tonight when the draft gets started. Stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, so the catalyst for this was that at Extreme Rules, the Miz came out and ran their mouths. So Bret Hart, who was in charge, I guess, I don't know. Teddy Long, that's right. Teddy Long was the SmackDown general manager, and I guess he had control over the night. Kept bringing out tag teams to face them in a non-title match, of course. And the Hart Foundation won, which means they would get a tag team title shot. You know what? If you just put the tag team titles on the line and Hart Dynasty won it there, then we could have done more draft stuff on the show instead of this bullshit. Like, I was frustrated then, and I'm a little bit miffed at it now, because back then when I was watching, I'm sitting there going, I don't care. I just want to see who gets drafted where. And WWE still does stuff like this. Like, recently, we had the draft, and it just... We want to see... I understand there's only a certain amount now that gets drafted at a certain amount. You're going to have... A 2-hour show is going to have less than a 3-hour show. But when you go on... We don't... When there's supposed to be a draft night, we don't want a 30-minute talking segment, then the draft. Or a 20-minute talking segment, then a draft. But no. And, so, because The Miz... Because they didn't win, but they went through all those teams. I don't know. There was some kind of deal that Bret Hart had to declare them the greatest tag team of all time. So Bret Hart comes out and says, I declare Miz as the greatest tag team of all time. I also declare that the Mountie is the greatest Intercontinental Championship of all time. And I declare that David Arquette is the best world champion of all time. And you hear King on commentary going, well, he was terrible. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what he says. You know? He said that the Miz is a horse face, which, come on. Really? The Miz? Whatever. So, they had the match, and during the match, the Miz tries to cheat. Bret Hart pushes his legs off the ropes, and he gets all pissed. Matt Striker, who is playing the heel on commentary, starts freaking out. Why should he have disqualification? He touched the competitor. He needs to be disqualified. Disqualification. Give him disqualification. He needs to be disqualified. You know the whole thing. And then the they hit a move on the Miz. Like, it's boom. But they put him in a sharpshooter after hitting him with the move. And then he taps out. It's over. They win the tag titles. I thought this was when they're presented with the new tag titles, but I guess not yet. I think it's later. I guess. But, yeah. And Matt Striker saying how Show Me got screwed, which is not true. But next we have a Divas Only draft pick match. It is Lay Cool representing SmackDown versus Eve and Maurice. Well, Eve is a babyface, Maurice is a heel, so what do you think happened? Lay Cool won because Maurice would not help Eve at all. Maybe they have some sort of rivalry, I don't know. And Kelly gets drafted to SmackDown, which makes Jerry King Lawler very sad. In fact, every time they bring it up, he goes, oh, every time. They're like, and also to come into SmackDown, oh, Kelly, like it's hurting him physically to see that Kelly is no longer on Raw. It's funny. Next up, we have Evan Bourne versus CM Punk, who is in full straight out society mode with Serena and the Big Show. And, well, they talk about how CM Punk still has his hair because thanks to a mystery person who we later find out is Joey Mercury, helped CM Punk beat Rey Mysterio. And they also point out that there could be more than one people underneath the ring. And, there was a whole thing, how many members are there? There was only one more member, and he didn't last long. And it was actually CM Punk's idea to bring in Joey Mercury, by the way. CM Punk wins, thanks to help from... Evan Bourne goes up to do his airborne move, and the mystery guy comes in while the referee's distracted and knocks him down. CM Punk wins. Yay for him. And so another pick goes to SmackDown. Oh, by the way, they come back to commercial and they show what happened after the Show Miz lost the tag team titles. Big Show knockout punches the Miz, and they even say on a commentary, he knew this was coming. He saw it was coming. Yeah, so yeah. I say that because the Big Show was going to SmackDown. Yes, and then we cut to, I think it's here we see John Cena. No, that's later. So we cut to we go to that commercial, come back, and we see Teddy Long welcoming Big Show to SmackDown, and he's kind of quiet. He's like, "It's good to be coming to SmackDown, Teddy." And then Teddy, after Big Show leaves, goes, "Got myself a winner. I got myself a winner. Got myself a winner." And I can't stop thinking about that. Like, for 14 years, no. Yes, no. No way. Yeah, 14 years. I was like, no way, it's been 24 years. 14 years. That still plays in my head when I think of the Big Show. Got myself a winner. Got myself a winner. I just love that. Then we have John Cena and Sheamus. Sheamus comes out. We talk about how Sheamus destroyed Triple H at Extreme Rules. Triple H is taking some time off, so he beat the hell out of him, and he comes out and says, "Oh, I beat Triple H, so I deserve to be number one contender for the WWE Championship." Out comes Randy Orton, who says, "No, you're stupid. I deserve to be number one contender." Even though he lost to Jack Swagger the night before, so I had to know where that comes from. John Cena comes out and takes the opportunity to introduce the special guest host, because they're in the guest host era of Raw. So he says, tonight's guest host, woo, 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 woo. No one comes out. Instead, he gets a little phony call from his little 2010 dinky phone. WWE Mobile goes, hey, hello? No guest host? Bologna, fudge, and mustard. Which is another thing. He said, yeah, I know about all this. And they also told me that, well, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Sheamus is here. It's at this point I forget Randy Orton's in the ring. He's like, Sheamus is here. Oh yeah, he was like a big tub of mayonnaise with a ketchup hair, yeah. You're not funny, Cena. And so he's like, yeah, I've been told that the only person that can name a number one contender for the WWE Championship is the WWE Champion. So he says we're going to have Randy Orton versus Sheamus in number one contenders match in the main event tonight. And that's exactly what happens. Yep, there's no shenanigans. There's no extra person at it. So now we have a 10-man battle royal, and now they're fully emphasizing the teams. It's teams. And it is Team Raw, which is MVP Mark Henry Yoshitatsu. Thank you. Santino Marella and Ted DiBiase Jr. Versus Team SmackDown, Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, Kane, R-Truth, Drew McIntyre, and the newly single Shad Gaspard, who the night before had a strap match against JTG. Back when they cared about making Extreme Rules, you know? Although I will say that Triple H's last one was actually pretty good. Yeah, and the winner was Raw. And it was down to Santino and Ted DiBiase. They, threw over Rey Mysterio. Or Ted DiBiase does, and then Santino will celebrate like he won the World Series or something. Ted DiBiase hits him, knocks him down. And we get our 3 draft picks for Raw. It is John Morrison. SmackDown goes, ooh. It's R-Truth. SmackDown goes, ooh. And it's Edge. SmackDown goes, beep. Now SmackDown's dead. 3 of their best guys gone. SmackDown needs life support. Stat. Because they're beep. And that's not all. Okay? That is not all. So, yeah, that. Whew. By the way, I hurt my nose putting it face first on the paper. Yeah. Then we have Chris Jericho representing SmackDown versus Christian, who's representing Raw, but according to Wikipedia, he wasn't on a brand. But I specifically remember him saying he chose Raw. So I don't know. I think it's, later. Chris Jericho wins, but this was a pretty good match. Both great competitors. Christian was still pretty good at this point. He wasn't at the point where he was getting injured every 5 minutes, so he was pretty good. Chris Jericho wins, and the draft pick is Kofi Kingston. Okay, there's a little more of a heartbeat for SmackDown. You get a little something. You get the control frenzy of Kofi Kingston going to SmackDown, so that's, And a match that, quote-unquote, was just thrown together, just announced minutes ago. This is new information. Jack Swagger, the World Heavyweight Champion, yeah, that's a thing, versus John Morrison. And this was another good match. 2 good matches in a row. John Morrison was up for Starship Pain. He gets stopped. Jack Swagger wins. And the draft pick coming to SmackDown is Christian. That's right. And he's saying he wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Spoiler alert. Doesn't happen. Not yet. He was nowhere near that. So then we get a backstage segment in which R-Truth, with Ted DiBiase, is trying to... He's talking to Carlito about working for him. Carlito's like, no, that's not cool. Carlito's not going to work for you. Go away. And he walks off. And then R-Truth comes up. He said, what's up? Oh, what's up? And he's like, I didn't need someone to help me, have my back, carry my bags. You said can't carry your bags? Well, yeah, carry my bags. Oh, let's see. You want me to cook for you? Make sure your hair's lined up. Do all this stuff for you. You want a Virgil? No. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. No. I said, no. I just want someone to kind of be a partner, be my, my assistant, personal help. You know what? Let me think about that. I'll get back to y'all. And he slaps him across the face. Truth don't play that, which I forgot was a thing. Yeah, so that starts the rivalry they're going to have. So then we have Dolph Ziggler representing SmackDown in a draft pick match. Representing Raw, Hornswoggle. And Hornswoggle wins by countout. And I missed how it happened. Like, maybe he tried to get back into the ring, and Hornswoggle kicked him and knocked him back down. I don't know. I think Dolph Ziggler was playing it like, no, I'm not going to face him. And they got close to the end, so he tried to get in, and Hornswoggle kicked him and knocked him down or something. I don't know, but Raw gets the draft pick, the final draft pick of the night. And it is Chris Jericho in SmackDown. Had that little pump, now is again. Think about it. Who's the biggest star on SmackDown? Big Show. Look at Raw. They have John Cena. I guess Rey Mysterio. They have Big Show, Rey Mysterio, and Kane. They're the three biggest guys on SmackDown right now. Raw is Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, Edge, Chris Jericho, Bautista. Did I say Randy Orton? I think Randy Orton was the first one I did. Chris Jericho. All those compared to 3 on SmackDown. Well, Undertaker, I think, was still technically on SmackDown at this point, so 4. But yeah. And then we get our number 1 contenders match, just as we're getting ready to have it. So, up to this point, I thought, oh, this is when Batista comes out and yells about duct tape, duct tape, duct tape. But as the night kept going, well, maybe not. Maybe that's next week. Maybe that's not next week. They also announced that next week's guest host is Wayne Brady. I remember that because we went down to Iowa for something in 2010, and my brother and I watched it on, I almost said my son, he wasn't born yet, that's not till next year. My brother and I watched it on the TV. My sister was there too, I guess, but I remember watching the whole Wayne Brady show, the talk segment with Wayne Brady, and I think it was a Cutting Edge with Wayne Brady and all that. He gets RKO by Randy Orton. I remember watching that. I remember that. So, yeah, and it made me go freak out. I was like, the host of Let's Make a Deal. I'm like, wow, that's that old. Is it still going? I think it's still going. I think. But yeah, so I thought, oh, maybe it's the next big one or another one. Maybe Batista's not on here. Then Batista's music hits. He comes out. Let me get it. Are you kidding me? Duct tape, duct tape, duct tape. I got screwed last night. Number 1 contender. I'm the number 1 contender. Duct tape, duct tape, duct tape. Nobody's gonna be number 1 contender before I do. I didn't lose. So you're cheated. And then out comes Sheamus. You lost, fella. It's time to move on. Stuff like that. And he's like, I didn't lose. I'm number 1 contender. And then Randy Orton comes out. You're stupid. You're stupid. He doesn't say that, but he's like, no, you didn't. You lost. You're not. And so there's like the whole thing, and then John Cena comes out. You know what? Make it a triple threat match. And I remember, I told you I watched this back in the day, 14 years ago. Old. And I remember being, I swear to God, I said this. I swear to God, if Batista wins, I'm gonna get pissed. Guess who wins? Yeah, because even 14 years ago, they couldn't stop doing these consistent rivalries. Yeah, so it started Elimination Chamber when Batista screwed John Cena out of the title after winning the Elimination Chamber. Then they had a match at WrestleMania. Then the Extreme Rules, and then their final match would be at the new pay-per-view, Over the Limit, live on pay-per-view. It also made me nostalgic because they kept showing commercials for, you could order the replay, the encore presentation of Extreme Rules, and I'm like, wow, you can't do that anymore. I think they should do that like TNA or AEW now, but WWE is all on, Peacock here or WWE Network over there. But yeah, this was a good match. Don't get me wrong, but there's a couple of times like, oh, Batista's out. He's got to be out, but he keeps coming back in because Batista's winning this because I don't know. That's why when I do a universe mode, you get 1 month to do this, to do a rivalry. All right, so let's say it's John Cena versus Batista, right? Batista doesn't beat John Cena at the pay-per-view. Too bad. We're moving on. It's Randy Orton. He doesn't win. Moving on. It's The Miz. He doesn't win. Moving on. Right? And even if John Cena should lose the title at some point, he does not get a rematch because I don't do that shit. That's another thing I don't like. Like, okay, we're leading towards this. Okay, let's say Batista won the title back. Well, then John Cena's got to get his rematch clause because that's what they do. By the way, whatever happened to those being gone? Because someone's like, oh, I have a rematch clause. No, those were gotten rid of like in 2019 or something. Right? But I don't know. But yeah, Batista wins and celebrates and yeah. So if you joined in back when the whole Sheamus and Randy Orton things happened, yeah, you were thinking, oh, great. John Cena versus Randy Orton, we're going to have a new number one contender, we're going to move on from this Batista stuff. Only for when the match starts to Batista come out, which I said I remember, and I'm going, oh no. What? Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Okay. I also seem to remember him being in a battle royal. Maybe that was the Extreme Rules one, where they had a battle royal or something, and Batista came out, and he's going to be in it, and he won. I seem to remember that. Maybe, I don't know, but just towards the end of his run. Yeah, the WWE draft, the night Smackdown got screwed. Yeah, it's interesting just to see how screwed Smackdown was. Like I said, they lost a lot of major players. And now the only big guys I have are Big Show, Christian, I guess you can throw in there, and Rey Mysterio, Undertaker, and Kane. The only ones that left. Supplemental draft. So in total, Raw got John Morrison, R-Truth, Edge, and Chris Jericho. Supplemental draft. They got Great Khali, Natalya, Ezekiel Jackson. Although I don't think Ezekiel Jackson was long for Raw. He ended up going to SmackDown. I don't remember him doing much on Raw unless he was just on Superstars at this point. Because I don't remember him doing much until SmackDown when he joined the Corp. But that's not till maybe late in 2010. Yeah. I think I remember now a bunch of Ezekiel Jackson coming to Raw, and then maybe having one match, or maybe not even one match, and then just jumped them into the core. Goldust, the Hart Dynasty, or the Tag Champions. We can go to either brand. And Zack Ryder, woo woo woo. SmackDown gets Kelly, Big Show, Cody Kingston, Christian, and then the supplemental draft they get Chavo Guerrero, Cody Rhodes, Chris Masters, boom, 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 Hornswoggle, Rosa Mendez, and MVP. Kind of short end of the stick there, isn't it? But yeah. Although Edge's run on Raw not last long, he had a rivalry with Chris. He had a rivalry with Chris Jericho. That doesn't go anymore. Because I forgot to mention that he spears Randy Orton in the main event, which allows Batista to win. I totally forgot that. Don't know why. But he has a rivalry with Randy Orton, and then they have the Nexus thing, and then it's weird that this, like, Chris Jericho and Edge had this rivalry, and then they're sort of like a heel tag team later, and then Edge jumped ship to SmackDown, kind of like Batista jumped ship to SmackDown the year before, because there was too much heavy talent on Raw. Edge was injured. Jericho was constantly on Raw. I remember, too, I had laughed, going, what? Because despite the fact that Chris Jericho got drafted to SmackDown the year before, in 2009, he didn't do anything on SmackDown. right? He didn't do anything on SmackDown. He won the tag titles with Edge. Edge got injured, so he picked the Big Show. Then they were constantly on Raw defending those damn things until they lost to DX, which means that Jericho had to stay on SmackDown. But then they kept on doing these things for him to come back, just in Santa Claus and all this shit. And then finally, if he does not win this match, if they do not win this match, he gets banned. And they do that, and he gets banned from Raw, only for a few months later to get drafted to it. I remember rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought he was banned from Raw. The draft pick supersedes the banning, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, it's you're quick to tell that, like, it's slowly starting to get to the point where they don't really care. They know who they want to push, so those that they really want to push, they go to Raw. But then SmackDown gets the shaft because of it, you know? And, well, if you thought they didn't care here, wait till the next one. The 2011 WWE Draft, when we got screwed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the night we got screwed. Yeah, just wait for that. So, what are your thoughts on the 2010 WWE Draft? Remember, comment, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.